అవసరమున్నా లేకపోయినా బ్యాంకుల ఖాతాదారులకు బీమా పాలసీలు ఇతర ఆర్థిక పెట్టుబడుల ఉత్పత్తులను అంటకట్టడంపై కేంద్ర ఆర్థిక మంత్రి నిర్మలా సీతారామన్ మరోసారి ఆగ్రహం వ్యక్తం చేశారు. ఇలాంటి పద్ధతులకు స్వస్తి చెప్పి తమ కీలక వ్యాపారమైన డిపాజిట్ల సేకరణ, రుణ వితరణపై దృష్టి పెట్టాలని కోరారు. భారతీయ రిజర్వ్ బ్యాంక్ కేంద్ర బోర్డు సమావేశం తర్వాత మీడియాతో మాట్లాడుతూ ఆమె వ్యాఖ్యలు చేశారు. గృహ రుణం, వాహన రుణం ఇలా ఏ రుణం తీసుకున్నా బ్యాంకులు బలవంతంగా తమ చేత ఏదో ఒక బీమా పాలసీ కొనిపిస్తున్నాయని, ఇటీవల బ్యాంకు ఖాతాదారుల నుంచి ఫిర్యాదులు పెరిగిపోయాయి. ఈ అక్రమాలకు చెక్ పెడుతూ ఆర్బీఐ ఇటీవల కొన్ని మార్గదర్శకాలు విడుదల చేయడంపై ఆర్థిక మంత్రి సీతారామన్ హర్షం వ్యక్తం చేశారు.
Banks should concentrate on their core business. I'm repeating this, and I've also said this several times to the banks themselves. From the customer side, I'm giving you a long wound answer purposely because you have to contextualize this. From the consumer's point of view, the customer point of view, the bank deposit holder point of view, the money lending which happens with a customer, the borrower's point of view. You need banks to focus on understanding their customer, their strengths, their weakness, the business cycle, if they are personal account holders, their needs, their requirements, and so on. One of the good and noble spirit of financial inclusion, particularly in a country like ours, where banks have spread all over. It's also because of, you can say, at one point in time when nationalization happened, banks were meant to go deep into the country so that they can reach all customers. Now from then the emphasis has been to know your customer, reach out to them, mobilize deposit and lend. Make your money out of what you've lent, no problem. That's core banking. Gradually, with the economy and the types of businesses growing, banks have spread themselves to do many other things, which is all right. I'm not against that. But they have reached a point, not now, a couple of years ago, they had reached a point where they did not have that comfort of the CASA money. And as a result, with the government also tightening on professional handling of the banks, performance, also making sure that the banks understand what the credit requirements are and so on, they had to keep lending, and inclusive of the aberrations which happened without checking on the security, you lent and whatever, they went on the other side far too soon. You didn't mobilize CASA as much as you needed or as much as there is availability, but you also went on lending. Of course, lending on phone calls, lending without asset backing and so on, that you reached a stage where you had no longer the comfort of the CASA, the cheap money which you have in your account to lend. And at a time when the government was also trying to restore banks to do their jobs professionally. So banks said, government said, I clearly remember telling every one of the banks which came to me, I'm not saying all banks came to me, but every one of the banks which came to me, and I shall not give the money for their requirements. Please reinfuse or put more money into the banks. I said, I will not do that. You become a better bank that you can go to the market and raise that money. And all this simultaneously happening resulted in a situation where banks had to tie up their lace and start running the race, but kept the CASA as not top priority. So in the last few years, I've been saying banks should go out there, collect deposits, meet with people, not just